Okay, moving on to laying out your experience section. You'll notice again that the title and the icon and the line is all the same and consistently formatted with the other section titles above it and below it. When you're laying out your employment section, you really require to include 3 key pieces of information in your subheader. The position title that you held, in this case server, the name of the company that you worked for, and your start and end dates. And as a reminder, if you're currently working there, you can just indicate to present. Now, we don't need to know that it was January 3rd when you started. It's really sufficient to just include the month and the year. But it's super important to include that month. If you say that you worked from 2019 to 2020, that could mean that you worked for a couple of weeks or a couple of years. So it's important to include the month when you're using your start and end dates. And your subsection heading for your first job here does not need to be laid out like this. You could include the name of the employer followed by the position title. You could put the position title underneath, and you could move the dates up above. Now look what happened here. Sometimes Word does this, where you move things around and it decides to change your fonts and layouts. So you have to be really paying attention to this and cognizant that you're keeping the formatting the way you want it so that everything is consistent. Now remember, up above we included our dates for our education, but look what's happened now. Now that we've included our work dates on the same in the same area, now they're not in alignment. So we need to move those over to ensure that they are all lined up on the same plane, and now they are. Oops, geez. Somewhere along the line I lost a T. Okay. Another important thing to keep in mind, again, just before I move on, just a reminder, you'll notice my bullet points are all lined up properly, consistently with the ones above them. If you're getting towards the end of a page, it's important that you either fit a whole section on a page or not, but that you don't allow bullet points to trail by themselves onto the next page. So some ways that you can do that is by adjusting the height of your footer. If your footer is too wide or too high, you'll end up with bullet points on the next page. So by dragging that footer down, again, using that all-important ruler, you can create some extra space for yourself. So that takes us on to our next page. When you're adding a second page to your resume, and by all means, you don't have to, but it's important that you include your header on the second page as well. I can't tell you the number of times when I've been printing a ton of resumes, either from students or from potential employees, and my printer tray hasn't been properly pulled out, and after printing a bunch of resumes, I go to my office and find that they're all on the floor. And it's most helpful when you include your name on your page too, and also just indicate somewhere along the line that you have, that it is your second page. So now you can see we're starting with a separate section of the hospitality experience section, and then we're moving on to the other professional experience. Again, with all the bullets lined up, all the icons lined up along the same lines.